struggling over the word because it happens.
Foster's Australian for beer. Is that all right? No, no. Down under? Oh, okay, that wasn't good.
It's great.
That one was really bad.
It's great. Whatever you're doing, it's great.
Good day, mate.
All right, so that was I'm just.
Let's put another shrimp on the barbie.
All right, that's more Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
Was that?
I was Australian.
Okay,
yeah,
that's fine.
Was that all right?
Well, yeah, I know he sounded like Sean Connery trying to be Australian.
Australian. No, it does actually kind of surprise myself there.
Yeah, you was only my thumb. That's all it takes.
I'm not going to lie. I was listening to the morning show on my drive in, and Bill did a phenomenal impression of, gosh, what's his name? The guy that's in the movie with Leonardo DiCaprio, Catch Me If You Can. The guy
Tom Hanks?
The guy who's in Wedding Crashers as the senator. Oh, my gosh, what's his name?
Christopher Walken?
Yes. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
It was great.
Guys, wow. Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah. Familiar with Walken.
Apparently there's some great video on YouTube of him like cooking a piece of chicken and
Really?
Yeah, Bill did a great impression. I wish we could pull it. We had it right now. It'd be great. It was awesome. I thought it was him on the show. And I was like, wow, how do we get him on the show?
That's what happens. You got a big pull.
Obviously.
The 97 won the ticket. We had a big pull. Back to the Karsch and Anderson inbox regarding the Michigan State stuff. Attempted troll, but it's actually just little brother's mentality. No matter how much you should stand on your own, you'll always measure yourself against big bro. I will say this again. This is what I feel about the big brother comment, little brother comment. It's never once made sense to me. Okay, I have a brother. He's an older brother. You know what I do for my older brother? I root like hell for my older brother to succeed. I really do. I wish my brother nothing but success in everything he does. As a Michigan State Spartan, you know what I hope for Michigan? Nothing but miserable failure. It's not a little brother mentality. It's the wrong analogy. You can bring up some other kind of analogy, but brothers root for each other except for when they play each other. Michigan State does not root for Michigan. How many times have you heard my two favorite teams are Michigan State and whoever plays Michigan? Happens all the time. There's no little brother mentality with Michigan State. I've never understood that whole thing.
That's fair, but you don't want your brother outshining you, right? Like, you got to be a little bit competitive.
Oh,
I mean, you don't root against your brother in life or anything like that, but you want to be better than your brother, right?
Listen, if my brother and I compete against each other, I want to beat my brother.
That's the point, yeah.
Yeah, except my point is that when you look outside of that, I'm always rooting for my big brother. Michigan State fans don't root for Michigan, ever.
I mean, that's one
Unless
way
it
of
benefits
looking at
Michigan
it.
State.
Look, I don't like it. I don't like the phrase either. I thought it made for...
It just doesn't make any sense to me.
I thought it made for great drama, but if you're still talking about it now after Michigan State's kicked your ass for so long, you're kind of pathetic.
Here's one. I'm a big Bama fan. I love trolling Auburn. It never ends.
That's true, and Alabama's goals are certainly a lot bigger than just beating Auburn at this point.
That they are. I can't believe you're telling Michigan State to stop the shtick when compared to the outrageous stuff Harbaugh does on a regular basis. Really?
I'm with you, but again, that's what Michigan does. That's what Michigan has always done. They have looked at, Big Ten championships. They've looked at what they've accomplished in their time, and they've always been, again, the chest thumpers, the chest pounders. Look at me. Look what we've done. When in reality, Michigan, did they win 10 games? A hell of a lot. Did they have an unbelievable amount of success? Sure. But they've won one national championship in the last, 60 years, 70 years, whatever it is. I mean, it's not like they've been in Alabama. It's not like they've been in Ohio State even. They're way below Ohio State, as much as Michigan fans certainly don't want to admit that. And by doing this, you're almost doing what Michigan does and what Michigan kind of wants you to do. Michigan State has built their program around, yes, being motivated to beat Michigan, and that is certainly something that you want to do. But at the same time, they've just hung in the weeds. They haven't been, the program that necessarily has to do something like this. So why? Why would you acknowledge a program that, let's be clear, is not on your level?
It was very calculated, being that this is the week of high school football, and there's the battle. So I think it serves its purpose in the high school recruiting and letting the high school recruits know out there, hey, they can talk a big game about staying and you'll be a champion, but we actually do it. So that's fine.
Real quick text here at 97136 from John. Brothers don't shake hands. Brothers got a hug.
That's right. I'm not hugging Amazing Blue. Matt's on the cell phone. Matt, welcome to 97 on the ticket.
Happy Friday, gentlemen.
Hey, happy Friday, man.
Yeah, likewise. I got a couple things I want to point on. First off, when you guys were talking earlier about working older, or working as you get older,
Right.
and I got a good saying for people that love to work, and that's basically that people that love to work simply just don't have any good hobbies, And
They don't have any
second
good
thing I
what?
wanted to point out.
Wait, what did you say?
Yeah, people that love to work simply just don't have any good hobbies.
Oh, good hobbies. Okay.
I disagree with that.
But the main thing I wanted to call in about was really I think it was the other point, was the fact that he thinks that Michigan State's truly out of Michigan's shadows. And I guess I have a question for you, and it's, to be completely honest, do you really think that Michigan State is out of Michigan's shadows? And I say that because Michigan State's been a great team for going on, probably 7 years now. And Michigan has one good season, one 10-win season, and all of a sudden there's a national talk on most national sports talk radio. And I think that's what it comes down to, is I truly just don't think Michigan State is out of Michigan's shadow.
Well, I'll say this, Matt. I think from a national perspective, I don't think either team's in their shadows. I think they're the national perspective, they're waiting for Michigan to emerge and being a program again.
Mm-hmm.
But I think from the football program's perspective, what does Michigan think? I think Michigan knows where they're at right now. They know they have to beat Michigan State to stop all this. In their eyes, I bet you they're thinking this is nonsense. How can we possibly be second fiddle to Michigan State again? Enough of this. Let's go out and win the game, and we'll shut them up. So actually, I think that Michigan's the one that's in the shadow, not Michigan State.
Well, Gator, I agree with you to that extent. The only problem I kind of disagree with you is if you flip the script for a second here, and let's kind of do a reverse style. Let's say Michigan State's been down in the dumps for the last 10 years, and they have a good season, have a 10-win season. Would you see nearly as much talk about that?
No, see, but Matt, we're also talking about Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah,
Jim Harbaugh is like this guy that everyone wants to talk about. He is a guy that was thought of and respected as a coach that could be in the NFL or in college football and is one of the best coaches out there, blah, blah, blah. And he does have that, PR machine, the hype machine that goes on with him. And he's on Twitter and he's doing this and he's doing that. Not to mention, I do think, and I don't think this is necessarily an unfair statement, it's fair to say, especially here in Metro Detroit, that Michigan has more of a following here in this area?
I think, I'll be honest. I think there are more Michigan fans in this area than there are Michigan State
I don't think it's because
fans.
Michigan State hasn't accomplished anything or something.
The media latches on to this whole thing because it's Jim Harbaugh coming back to Michigan, and because Michigan is the blue blood program that's been around forever, and they've been on the downside the last several years.
And people will click on it.
To Michigan State, right.
And more people will click on it.
But if Michigan had hired Greg Schiano instead of Jim Harbaugh,
oof. Chopping wood.
We're not going to see any of this kind of.
I agree. It would not be nearly as bad. Plus, they would have won maybe 8 games last year.
248-539-9797 is the telephone number. Some dude pulled a move over the weekend that many think makes him a boss. Other people might think, dude, you are a fool. Discuss it next here, 97.1, The Tick.